ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Hello students, now we are in the discussion of root system. We studied the types of roots as two categories, fibrous root system and taproot system. Let us start seriously doing some serious work on the paper. So what I decided to do from today here is, let us take up the classes very seriously. All of you guys, just you completed 10th class and a few basics, some of the basics you are well known. So what you can do is, you have a good vacation time. Let's make use of some part of your day as most valuable thing. We will make it as most valuable thing by doing little hard work on the paper. So hard work means, don't imagine that a very high hard work, no. So I will try, what I plan to give you from today in botany classes is, I plan to give very small assignments. What you all can do is, you take one plain long notebook. In that, every day I will give you very simple small assignments. Make sure that you seriously start working on that. Guys, especially for the BPC stream, your hard work has to start from day one, because even though it is a good vacation time, but you have most valuable time in your hand. The people who have very strong intention in their heart and mind that I should get my medical seat, for them the work or the hard work begins from day one. So it is not like getting other seats like BPC stream, getting a doctor seat. You need to put more effort on the paper, you need to put more effort on your mind preparation. And ultimately, if you want to reach the goal, what is the goal or aim for BPC student? To get good crack very good rank in the NEET entrance exam. So it's, it's most wonderful thing when you qualified in the NEET final exam. It's a very good and most most wonderful thing. Why it is said to be as wonderful thing? Because the role of a doctor, with your little hands you can save the life of so many people. That's a wonderful job. But to get into that medicine, to hold that wonderful thing into your hand, you need to start doing hard work. Now you have whole days with you. Let us do some serious work for botany class. So what I plan to give some simple assignments. Don't worry, I am not going to give you toughest part. I am not going to put much burden on your head. Very small little assignments I will give you. Make sure that you practice and spare some time and work on them. And whatever I give, the simple assignments which I am going to start very seriously today. Guys, you listen carefully with a lot of concentration, understand the concept and revise in your little mind. Practice once or twice on your paper, and if you practice more times, it's well and good. And once you come back to college with the work what I am giving you with simple assignments, if you really complete all the assignments in your notebook, after checking your notebook, you are highly appreciated. So the people who want to do a good, who want to make use of seriously their serious time into serious work, to have some strong intention, those who have very strong intention, yes, I want to do reading, I want to do some concept preparation, I want to do it seriously. For them, what I am planning from today is, I just want to give simple assignments. So these are very simple assignments. Guys, from today onwards, let me know my plan. From today onwards, what I will try to do here, so this is a concept which I am going to start in soon time. Every day, I plan to give very small assignment. What is this assignment? Guys, I'll give you every day the 3 scientist names. The 3 scientist name and their discoveries. Okay, and I'll give 3 scientific names of the plants. And a small concept with 4, what you call 4, we can write 4 things, or you can write 4 subheadings, 4 subheadings with diagrams. So every day our small assignment. So let us do some serious, let us start some serious work for botany class. So every day we have a small assignment. What I am going to give from now, every day we will have a very small assignment. What is that assignment we will have? Every day I will try to give you 3 scientists' name along with the discoveries. So guys, compulsory after 2 years of your effort, compulsory we will get a question on scientist, 1 or 2 questions on scientist. So what you are going to start your serious work with your little hands today, definitely it will give you a fruitful result on one fine day. That's after 2 years. So every day the small little work what we are going to do, what you are going to put on the paper, definitely it will become wonderful in getting your wonderful goal, wonderful achievement, right. So every day I will give you 3 scientists names and what the discoveries they have made. So 3 scientist names you have to remember, and then I will give you 3 scientific names of the plant. 3 scientific names of the plant. So you have to remember, actually here we have 3 families, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae. I will give you 3 plants names and their scientific names, and at least the concept which is having the 4 subheadings along with the diagrams. Just take white paper, practice the diagrams. Once again you recite in your mind orally and practice it on the paper. Okay, this is the thing what I am planning from today. Let us go with this. As I told you very seriously, make sure that you take one book and seriously start writing. Make one tabular column having 2 columns. In one of the column you write down the scientist name in one column and write down other column invention. Now, so we will take about a scientist name along with the discoveries. Let us talk about the first scientist, Aristotle. So for this I am just writing somewhat with the big letters, and for the clear clarity of the view, it is the scientist name Aristotle. Aristotle is the one who is referred as father of biology. Aristotle is the one who is referred as father of biology. He is the one who discovered, who classified plants into 3 groups. What are they? Herbs, shrubs and trees. Okay, so Aristotle is the one who is referred as the father of biology, who classified plants into 3 groups: herbs, shrubs and trees. Okay, so as he has done immense study on identification of a different type of plants and also studied about medicinal plants. He also studied about medicinal plants. Because of his wonderful study on medicinal plants and because of his classification, he classified plants into 3 groups. He is the first scientist who has kept more effort on biology. So, Aristotle is referred as the father of biology. Similarly, let us talk about other scientists. Theophrastus. Theophrastus is an eminent scientist who is referred as father of botany. Who is referred as what? Father of botany. He is the one who studied about external and internal characters of 500 plants and also studied, recognized a different type of medicinal plants and also studied, identified a different type of medicinal plants. So, here that is the reason why Theophrastus, who is referred as father of botany. So, Theophrastus also on whatever he discovered all medicinal plants, the information on medicinal plants and external internal characters of 500 plants what he identified, everything was described in the book name called De Historia Plantarum. Whatever he studied, whatever he discovered, everything was described and he wrote a book named called De Historia Plantarum. For his wonderful study and eminent study on all the plants and their characteristics, morphological characters. What are external characters we say? Morphological characters. What are internal characters we say? Anatomical characters were clearly studied by Theophrastus. That is the reason why who is referred as the father of botany. What was the book he has written? He wrote the book name called De Historia Plantarum. Similarly, let us study about other scientists. Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke is a scientist. He is the one who is referred as father of cytology. He is the one who is referred as what? Father of cytology. He studied about, as we discussed, the branch called cytology. He is the one who studied about structure and function of the cell. Very clearly studied about structure and function of the cell, who is called father of cytology, and he is the one who described and invented the first discovered the first non-living cell. He discovered first non-living cell. So, here the discovery I am writing here, and this first non-living cell which he referred as cellulae. The first non-living cell what he described, it was referred as cellulae. So, if you look at the cellulae, the term cellulae was given by Robert Hooke. The term cellulae was introduced by Robert Hooke. It was not a living cell. What he observed? He observed in the plant called Quercus subo. Quercus subo, it is nothing but an oak tree. Now, where did he study that non-living cell? He studied in the plant called Quercus subo. It was nothing but an oak tree, where the outer layer of bark. So, he looked a microscope. By the time already microscope has been invented. Now, with the help of microscope, he studied the bark contains. The bark is nothing but what? Bark is nothing but what? It is nothing but a cork. What is this bark? Bark is nothing but what? A cork. Huge plants will have the thick outermost brown color layer on the huge trunks of the plants, right? We call that cork, bark. In that bark, he observed a honeycomb-like structures. Honeycomb-like structures. So these honeycomb-like structures, which he referred as cellulae. Okay, so on the trunk of the huge plants, if you look at, this is a huge plant if you look at, and outerly you find brown colored ones, right? Here and there cracks will be the crevices, right? We call beredu on huge trees, right? So that was a non-living cell. What he took some part of the cork or bark, observed under microscope, and in the microscope he found that honeycomb-like structures. And these honeycomb-like structures are non-living cells, and first time he coined the term called cellulae. He coined the term called cellulae. Who coined the term cellulae? Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke coined the term cellulae. Cellulae, the term what he has given, that was for a non-living cell, not for a living cell. And in which plant he discovered that? That is nothing but Quercus subo, that is commonly called as oak tree. And whatever the characteristics he observed about a non-living cell, it was written in the book name called, he wrote a book named it as Micrographia. What is the meaning of micrographia? With the help of microscope, he could able to reveal and discover the structures, honeycomb-like structures, which he coined the term called cellulae. Today we call that cellulae as cell, right? But whenever question is who discovered the first non-living cell means, the option is Robert Hooke. Guys, suppose if the question is who discovered the first living cell means, option is different. Why? First living cell, the scientist is different. First non-living cell, then you have to look for the option called Robert Hooke. We will discuss later who is the scientist who invented living cell, continuation of this for the next class. Now, so here the book what he has written, whatever he discovered, whatever he studied throughout his lifespan at the part of research, whatever the discoveries he has made, everything put together he has written the book name called Micrographia. So book name is also very important to remember. All the parameters are important. Cellulae. Right. So for today I am giving you three scientists name. Who are the three scientists? The first one is Aristotle. So we will add every day three scientists and we will study the discoveries. First one is Aristotle, who is referred as father of biology, who classified the plants into three groups: herbs, shrubs and trees. And he also studied about medicinal plants. Right. And the second scientist to whom let us start our class with Theophrastus, and father of botany, who studied about external and internal characteristics of nearly 500 plants, and he also contributed for the study of medicinal plants, and he wrote both discoveries and the findings, what he discovered, what he is exposed, and everything was put together, was written in the book name called De Historia Plantarum. Sometimes you will get basic questions. What was the book written by Theophrastus? Then you have to remember De Historia Plantarum. So see here the importance of the points here. I kept 3 star marks, indicates this is the most important point for all of you to remember. The name of the book you have to remember along with the scientist and what was his discovery. Right. Now, let us go to the next one, Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke is the one who discovered first non-living cell, and he coined the term cellulae. And where he studied cellulae? In the plant name called Quercus subo, which is commonly called as oak tree, and bark or cork, which contains honeycomb-like structures, and he wrote the book name called Micrographia. So again here the name of the book is very important, and Robert Hooke is referred as father of cytology for his main contribution and for the important discovery of the most important non-living cell, and coined the term cellulae, and the book name is also important, Micrographia. These things belongs to the scientist Robert Hooke. Right. So we studied the three scientists. Now these are the scientists which you have to practice for today, and even let us talk about 3 scientific names. Right. So what you can do is you just make one table in your notebook, start writing the scientist name and discoveries. So here for today we studied 3 scientist name, some leave around 5 to 8 to 10 pages for scientist and discoveries. So to study today 3 scientists along with the discoveries. So continue the table and make the table for about 8 to 10 pages for what you call 10 pages, so that every day when you make the study of 3 scientists, tomorrow you will be studying more 3 and then more 3. So for 6 days in a week or 5 days if you work hard, 3 scientists if you study every day, for a week you will cover 15 scientists along with the discoveries. That's really wonderful work. Okay, every day if you study 3 scientists, at least for 5 days if you make a serious effort on the paper, first year students, it's really good that if you can come back with this a kind of serious work in your notebook. I am telling you, after you come back, highly appreciated, and if I can find you in your notebooks, you have done really this little wonderful work. This is, even though you call this is little work, but this is most wonderful job I am telling you. If you can complete 3 scientists every day, for 5 days you can study and complete 15 scientists. Next week again 15 scientists, next week again 15 scientists. So all together you can remember thoroughly about the scientists and discoveries. So after you come back, when syllabus starts, when we study the chapters, wherever the scientist comes, the answer should be at the tip of your tongue. Yeah, he is a scientist who discovered so and so. So that becomes a very good kind of interaction between you and the faculty, right? And this is really good job. When you make the 3 scientists every day, for a week it becomes a wonderful work of remembering 15 scientists along with the discoveries. Similarly, you continue making this table. This is table number 1. And at least draw the column for at least 10 pages, right? And then let us make table number 2. Some leaving around some 10 to 15 pages for this, or 20 pages for this, leave around 15 to 20 pages. After this, leaving 15 to 20 pages, make table number 2. In this table number 2, we are going to study about what is called scientific name, of the plant and the common name. Okay, we are making other table which has scientific name of the plant and common name. So we are going to discuss every day 3 names, 1, 2 and 3. Right. So here every day if you can remember 3 scientific names along with the common name, then that becomes almost same. Again 5 days if you can do the work, having 3 scientists, at least you will get it as 5 days or 6 days you can take 15 to 18 what you call names you can remember for week. Right. Every day if you seriously sit and start doing little work on the book, and definitely I am telling you that work is highly appreciated. After you come back, if we get an opportunity to see your notebook filled with these tables every day with 3 tasks, okay, and if you studied and if you listen with a lot of concentration, and if you understand, and if you practice thoroughly on the book, if you recollect it so many called scientist names and scientific names, and if you can remember all scientist name and all scientific names, I am telling you at this vacation time you really have done a wonderful work. And if your notebook is really filled with all the tables and the concepts here, and if you really come back with your mind preparation to the classes, I am telling you this is awesome and that is highly appreciated. Okay guys, I will be waiting to see you soon with this kind of work on the paper, right. And last side, or you can take this as the last, from last you can make this 15 to 20 pages from last corner of the notebook, right. And this again in the middle somewhere you can make the table, and in the first page of the notebook you just continue with the root system. Okay, take one notebook, you divide into 3 or 4 slots. From the last page of the notebook, start writing 15-20 pages you allot for writing scientists and discoveries. This again here, 1 second guys. It's good, botany book only. Okay. So here if you start writing, okay, this is a book what you can take it. For example, I am just getting you an idea here. If you take one long notebook here, just simply what you can do is from here first page onward start writing. From the first page start writing the concept. So we have just started with the morphology, write down morphology, and we studied yesterday types of roots, start writing types of roots, and we will continue with the root system. So we will continue with the root system here and go to the last corners of the page, okay, and here take nearly 15-20 pages, you leave nearly 15-20 pages, nearly this is 15-20 pages. Okay, and start writing here a scientist name, discoveries, make 2 columns, scientist name and discoveries, every day start writing 3-3. So 15-20 pages, from the last you start writing table number 1, scientist and discoveries, and leave more some 15-20 pages, leave some more 15-20 pages, okay, 15-20 pages from the last, and start writing table number 2. What is table number 2? That is nothing but scientific name of the plant and the common name, right. And take the pin page in the middle, I will try to give you some diagrams for that, and front will be the concept. I hope you all understood. Take one plain notebook. Guys, why I am telling you this much time, taking this much this, your little work, what you are going to put on your paper from the day 1, it gives you wonderful result. As soon as you come back to the college, definitely you can score, and you can definitely go for high score on the weekend exams. That definitely fills your little heart with high confidence. So to fill your little heart with high confidence, a good sort of preparation, a little work every day on the paper, it is highly appreciated. So what you can do is take the notebook, write morphology, start writing the notes, stop the video in between, note down the notes, and little work you can do by revising and by studying, they all are basics. So types of root system and all that, start writing the concept from this side. From the last corner, leave some 15-20 pages and allowed start writing table number 1, having scientist name and the discoveries, and leave again 15-20 pages, make the table number 2. What the table number 2? Again every day we are going to write 3-3, that is scientific name of the plant and the common name, okay. And in the middle pin page will come, right, there I will try to give you some diagrams, I will allot the work, try to practice few diagrams every day, and then come to the first, again you will be having the concept. I hope it is clear to you, right? Yeah, let us continue with the table number 2. So here in table number 2 we talk scientific name, scientific name of the plant, and common name. Scientific name of the plant and common name. Now we are going to start with the scientific name of the few plants. Maybe in lower classes you studied that every plant has its own scientific name. Wherever you go to any part of the world, if you call and if you remember, if you say scientific name, everybody can recognize that one which plant you are speaking about. So across the world, for every plant we have a local name called common name, and across the world to recognize the plant, universally every plant has one name, that one name we call it as a scientific name. Okay, so let us start with the family called Fabaceae. So this is the name of the family. Let us start with the family Fabaceae. So there are some families, guys, we will discuss later in another chapter what is called family. You know, when you talk about a family, there are so many families just for identification of the plants. Some are called Solanaceae, some are called Cucurbitaceae, some are called Malvaceae. Maybe you people may be thinking, what are these all? Just remember name of the families, means a group of plants are placed in one particular family with few common characteristics. Okay, so let us we differentiate. No, some people will get highest score, they are called group A. Some people will get, they are very intelligent but they get little lesser than highest score, they are called group B. So we differentiate based on the characteristics into groups generally. Similarly, plants also they have their own characters. A common characters containing plants are grouped in one family. Another common characteristic containing plants are grouped in another family, that is Solanaceae, and another family called Liliaceae. What are these families? We will study later, but presently we are taking the family called Fabaceae. Fabaceae in lower classes you studied. Fabaceae contains what are called legumes, and legumes they generally contain root nodules. Okay, so what are these root nodules, what are these legumes, what are these Fabaceae? We will study in the concept also. In this class only we will study. So Fabaceae is name of the family. Fabaceae contain the plants called legumes and they contain what are called root nodules. We will study these root nodules in the same concept of root. We are studying now the same concept called root. In root we study about root nodules. At that time we will discuss again legumes and root nodules. Now what is the scientific name here? Generally if you look at scientific name contains two words. Scientific, generally if you take scientific name, a scientific name contains two words. What are the two words here? We say that a genus is the first word. The first word is called genus and the second word is called species. Okay, the first word is called genus and the second word in the scientific name is called species. Every scientific name has two words. What are the two words? The first word is called genus and the second word is called species. For example, I am just giving you for example. For example, you know we take mango. So in our local name, in our common name we call this mango. Then what is the scientific name for mango? Scientific name for mango is Mangifera indica. What is the scientific name for mango? Mangifera indica. In this Mangifera indica, M is genus word. This is the first word called genus and this is the second word called species. Okay, don't worry, everything we are going to study in detail in the coming classes. Try to remember every plant has its own common name, what we call locally in our language, it has its own common English name and universally accepted by only one scientific name for each plant. What is the scientific name for each plant? The scientific name contains two words. The name of the plant should be written in two words. First word is called genus, second word is called species. Now for example, if you take mango, mango is the common name. Mango has the scientific name Mangifera indica. Mangifera is the first word. First word is called genus and second word is called indica. Indica is the species name. Then while writing, you need to take one precaution, one rule you have to follow. What is that? The genus, the first word, first letter should be capital. The first letter what we write in the genus name, it should be a capital letter. Okay, this is a rule which we have to follow according to ICBN. What is ICBN? International Codon for Botanical Nomenclature. That part we will discuss later. So here the genus, whatever the scientific name you write, in that first letter should be genus name, first letter should be a capital and the species, in that the first letter should be a small letter. So in species, the first letter should be a small letter. Whereas for genus, the first letter should be a capital letter. So guys, I hope you follow. Every plant has universally accepted only one scientific name will be there. So how do we remember, how do we write about scientific name? If you look at, every scientific name contains two words. Okay, the first word is called genus and the second word of the name is called species. For example, mango, it's our common name. For the mango, wherever you go to any part of the world, you can call with a scientific name. Universally, mango has only one scientific name. If you go to London, if you go to USA, if you go to Germany, wherever you go, mango is identified with one unique scientific name. What is that unique scientific name? Mangifera indica. Mangifera is a genus name. Indica is a species name. What is the rule you must follow while writing the scientific name of the plant here is, the first letter of the genus should be a capital letter. The first letter of the species, it should be a small letter. So this is the introduction which you remember. Let us start making the list of, for today's class, let us make the list of 3 plants. So here the scientific name and common name here. Today we are taking the plants which belong to the family called Fabaceae. The first plant what I am going to give you here is Arachis. I am writing spelling so clearly. So in your book, make sure that you practice the scientific name along with the common name. So I write the spelling clearly and somewhat with the big font. Arachis. Arachis hypogea. So here people are not known, so I have written very clearly with the big font size. I hope it is very clearly visible. And individual letters I have written. So what is the rule I followed? First letter I followed as capital letter. Of course for every word we write capital letter. So here what is the first name we are writing? Arachis hypogea. Hypo is a small letter I am writing here. This is a species name. Now Arachis hypogea. How to pronounce this name? Arachis hypogea. This is a common name for, this is a scientific name for groundnut. Okay, groundnut, you know, palli in Telugu we call, right? Groundnut is a common name. For the groundnut, what is the scientific name? Arachis hypogea. Guys, don't feel that terminologies are somewhat new. But if you listen and if you can concentrate the pronunciation and if you practice on the paper nearly 2 to 3 times, you can remember so easily. What is that name? Arachis hypogea. I repeat again, Arachis hypogea is a scientific name for groundnut. Similarly, let us write about Cajanus. Cajan. So this is a genus name and this is a what you call species name. Okay, this is Cajanus, Cajan. Right. Now this is commonly called as red gram, also called as Pigeon gram. Okay, so here Cajanus, Cajan is a scientific name for red gram. Also, this is also commonly called as what? Pigeon gram. So, when you talk about red gram, generally at home commonly start making use of scientific terminologies, start speaking at home with the scientific terminologies, start speaking to your friends with the scientific terminologies, so that it is very easy for you to remember in your young mind. So, what is that? Cajanus, Cajan. It is commonly called as what? Red gram, also called pigeon gram. Next, other one is Schizoaretinum. Schizoaretinum. So this Schizoaretinum, so here this is commonly called as Bengal gram or chickpea. Okay. So what is the scientific name for Bengal gram or chickpea? It's called Schizoaretinum. So we are going in the for every family we try to go in alphabetical order. So here A, Arachis hypogea, it's commonly called a groundnut and scientific name is Arachis hypogea. Cajanus, Cajan is the scientific name for red gram, pigeon gram we take, and Schizoaretinum is a scientific name for Bengal gram, chickpea. Similarly, let us take C letter words. We have 3 plants. Let us take 4 today. Crotalaria juncea. Crotalaria juncea. So what I have written here? Crotalaria juncea. It is commonly referred as sunham. It is commonly referred as sunham. Common names are important. Along with that, even scientific names are important. Okay, guys, don't ever feel sad that oh, terminologies are somewhat difficult and typical to appear and typical to pronunciation. Nothing is like that. You just concentrate and try to understand the scientific terminologies. These are the scientific terminologies you have to remember. What you can do is take your notebook, clearly write down the notes with all 4 scientific names along with the common names. Practice twice or thrice, 2 or 3 times, easily you can get it into your mind. Every day if you can learn 3 or 4 scientist names, for 5 days or 6 days it becomes a matter of 15 to 18 scientific names. So what you have to remember here is take the book and pen, practice scientific names. Okay, I repeat again, we are discussing what is called Fabaceae. It is a name of the family. Fabaceae has the plants called legumes. Legumes characteristic of containing root nodules. So keep the star marks, we will discuss this, and let us start with remembering some scientific names which belong to Fabaceae. What are they? Arachis hypogea, it is commonly called groundnut. Similarly, Cajanus, Cajan, it is commonly called red gram or pigeon gram. Schizoaretinum, guys, pronunciation you have to be careful. Cajanus, Cajan. Okay, I repeat, Cajanus, Cajan, red gram, pigeon gram. If you practice twice, you will remember very easily, don't worry. Schizoaretinum, what is it called? Schizoaretinum, common name is Bengal gram or chickpea. And then Crotalaria juncea, and here it is called sunham. Guys, coming to the Fabaceae, let me tell you one thing. In Fabaceae, yesterday we studied types of roots. I mean, for the last class we studied types of roots, no? So, Fabaceae, if you want to write down in the bracket, Fabaceae, it contains what is called as taproot system. Fabaceae, it contains what is called as a taproot system. Yesterday we studied taproot system. What is that? It contains a primary axis, or we call a mother axis. Yes, so here mother axis we call, or mother root we call, right. Primary root you can take, primary root or itself is called mother axis. From there laterally we get what are called as lateral roots. So these are called as what? Lateral roots. Lateral roots, or nothing but what? Secondary roots. And finally what you find? Tertiary roots, including what are called root heads. So these are called as what? Tertiary roots. And what you find here, and what you find here, these hair-like structures are called root heads. Guys, I am telling you very important point. Whenever simple question is asked, Fabaceae plant, so far what we started writing the list, Fabaceae plant generally contain what type of root system means? You have to go for the option called taproot system, not the fibrous root system. Okay, Fabaceae plants, any one of the plant. If they ask in the question, Cicer aretinum contains the type of root system, take the option taproot system. Generally you go outside guys, you take any plant, most of the plants what you find in our surrounding are dicot plants. You just commonly casually have a look, take out, uproot the plant, you take and pick out the plant, any plant, try to observe as I showed you for the last class. Clearly you can observe what is called taproot system. I repeat again, what is taproot system? Primary root or mother axis is thick and woody, and on either side you find lateral roots. Lateral roots further divided to form smaller roots called tertiary roots, and you find here and there small hair-like structures are called root hairs. Remember, Fabaceae is characteristic of containing taproot system. So guys, what you have to do today, for this today onwards you start taking seriously the botany classes. Take one notebook. Today we studied about 3 scientist names along with the discoveries. Practice and remember especially what was the discovery they made, what is the name of the book they have written, who is referred as what. So practice the 3 scientists on paper thoroughly and quite number of times to remember in your little mind. Similarly, we started studying about today table number 2, having the scientist name and the common name. Today we have taken 4 scientific names along with the common names. So pronounce it, listen carefully and practice it quite a number of times. Make sure that for today a small assignment is given having 3 scientists and 4 scientific names. Practice number of times and be thorough for this day. If you study this 4 plus 3 7, and that becomes the most wonderful hard work what you have done, making your day as most valuable day for your preparation. Start some little extent of preparation seriously, and this if you can do it in a separate notebook, and if you really practice and remember, if you come back with the good memory of all the list of all the scientists and scientific names, again I am telling you guys, it is the work is every day what you are doing the work, it adds a lot of effort for getting the final neat rank. So it is highly appreciated.